Yeah, they will say that's because they don't want to jeopardise what is clearly still a very sensitive moment. But it was very telling for me that neither man, both of whom love the media spotlight, love to spar with the media, chose today not to. But I have just caught up with Steve Witkoff, who is Donald Trump's Middle East envoy, right at the very heart of this process. Here's what he told me.
So tell us how hopeful you are.
I'm hopeful. I really am.
What's the difference this time?
I think that all the stakeholders in this, the people who it matters to, they want to see it happen. And the president believes it's going to happen, and is dug in, and that's what really gives me hope. He gets to the finish line. I've never seen anyone in all areas, and I know him for a long time, who gets to the finish line better than President Trump.
What about assurances for Palestinian self-determination? Is there any assurance for Palestinian self-determination?
Of course, I think so. Yeah, I just think they have to prove. We have to set up success for them. We have to make sure this is a complicated deal to hand off from one government to another. So
and Tony Blair in charge, is that I mean, with his Iraq War legacy?
I think if Tony's involved, he's going to do a great job. But I'm going to. Are you going to be?
So there we go. If Tony's in charge, so says Steve Witkoff, we will do a good job. Tony Blair, of course, the legacy of the Iraq War, we all know that. It was 27 years ago where Tony Blair first involved himself in the Middle East peace process. Guess who was in charge in Israel back then? Yes, it was Benjamin Netanyahu. Look, I think, Yalda, there are certain significant positives in this 20-point plan at the end of this pretty remarkable day. The first is that no longer are Palestinians being told they must leave the Gaza Strip. That was Donald Trump's position some time ago. It no longer is. They can stay if they want to. That's really important. The second point is that the United Nations and other aid agencies aligned to the United Nations would be involved in the distributing of aid within Gaza. That's important. At the moment, it is a somewhat obscure organisation, the Gaza Humanitarian Fund, which is operated by Israel, that is doing that aid. So that is very important. But the massive gaps are clearly Palestinian self-determination. Who runs Gaza? Will it be Palestinians? At the moment, the plan is that the Palestinian Authority can only take over when it reforms. That's pretty woolly. What does that mean? Steve Witkoff seems to think they do have self-determination rights in the future. We will see. And then, of course, Hamas. How do they respond? They are clearly not a good faith actor in any of this, but they hold the key that is the hostages. And without them coming out, then all this is off. So many unanswered questions, but a massively significant day, no question.